This is the practice assessment. So this is going through section 7.1 through 7.3. 7.1 are adding and subtracting polynomials. 7.2 is multiplying polynomials. 7.2 part 1 is distributing. You have a monomial times a polynomial. So you're just distributing one term. And then the second half of 7.2 is when you multiply binomials, a binomial times a binomial, two terms. So you do a double distribution is what we call it. And then 7.3 focuses on the special cases of those products of binomials. So here are 39 problems for us to do, and this should prep you for the assessment that will be on Monday. Good luck and see how you do on this practice assessment. So question number 1, simplify. Remember to place your answers in standard form. So we see what is happening between these two sets of polynomials. We're adding them, so we're going to distribute, that's a bad distribution. We're going to distribute out that positive sign. That's a positive 1. It doesn't change it when we add polynomials, sets or groups of polynomials. We've got this invisible 1 out there, and positive 1 times 3v is 3v, or positive 1 times 3v squared is positive 3v squared, and positive 1 times negative 4v to the fourth is still negative 4v to the fourth. So it won't change any of the terms. So we'll just rewrite what comes first, because that's not affected. So the parentheses drop out, and then we are going to drop off the other group of parentheses. And now we can combine them. So we're looking for like terms. So like terms have the same variable to the same exponent. So this is v to the second, this is v to the second. So we will combine their coefficients. So 4 plus 3 is 7v to the second. We're not increasing the exponent, we're just increasing the coefficient. So we have to really remember, combine like terms. Like terms have same variable or variables to the same exponent. And our other set of like terms are going to be v to the fourth and v to the fourth. So we will combine those coefficients. And we have a positive 6 and negative 4. So that's positive 2v to the fourth. Now, before we box that up, we got to put it in standard form. Standard form is alphabetical order, and if we're tied with alphabet, these are not like terms. This is v to the second, this is v to the fourth. So we can't combine them, but we can put them in order. Alphabetical order, well, they're both v, and now we go to their exponent. So 2v to the fourth has a higher exponent than 7v squared. So in standard form, we're going to rewrite those two terms to have them in standard form. Okay, so we'll distribute, so that just drops off when that's not going to change any of the terms. We just remove the parentheses so we can combine like terms. We have n to the second and 3n to the second, which makes 4n to the second. We have 7n to the fourth, negative 2n to the fourth, which makes positive 5n to the fourth, and then we're going to write it in standard form. Now we have a negative exponent, negative. We're subtracting the two. So this time we actually have to distribute out that negative, because a negative 1 on the outside definitely affects the terms inside. Negative 1 times that, negative 1 times that will change it. So 7p to the third doesn't change, 7p squared doesn't change. To the left of it doesn't, but to the right does. -1 times p to the third is negative p to the third. -1 times negative 8p squared is positive 8p squared. We again look for like terms. 7p cubed minus p cubed is 6p cubed. 7p squared plus 8p squared is 15p squared, and those are in descending order, so I know it's in standard form. Again, let's distribute out that negative. 4p to the third minus, whoa, don't get sloppy, minus 2p minus p minus p squared. Oh, they definitely tried to trick you. This doesn't have a partner. There is no other p to the third, so I'll write 4p to the third. Negative 2p and negative p are definitely like terms. That makes negative 3p, and then the negative p squared doesn't have a partner. Negative p squared. Now we have to remember, put it in standard form, 4p to the third minus p squared minus 3p. P to the third, p to the second, p to the first. Descending order based upon their variable. Okay, this is addition, so we'll just rewrite these. Plus 8p minus p to the third plus 8. So does the constant have a partner? Yep. 4 and 8 makes 12. Does the p to the first? Yep. Negative 3p, positive 8p is plus 5p. And p to the third, p to the third. So 5 and negative 1 makes 4p to the third. Now we're going to write it in standard form, 4p to the third plus 5p plus 12. 2 plus 4b cubed plus 2b to the fourth plus 8b to the fourth plus 5 minus 8b to the third. 2 and 5 make 7. 4b to the third, negative 8b to the third makes negative 4b to the third. 2b to the fourth, 8b to the fourth, 10b to the fourth. We get 10b to the fourth minus 4b to the third plus 7. Oh yeah. All right, this negative, we have to distribute it. It will change all three of those terms. 5x squared minus 7x cubed minus x. And now we have to focus on changing. So negative x to the fourth plus x plus 5x to the third. We have to distribute it to all three. Let's find partners. X squared. No no partner. So 5x squared. We got x to the third. Yep. So negative 7 and positive 5 makes negative 2x to the third. We have x, oh, that's negative x and positive x. Those cancel. And then we have negative x to the fourth. That doesn't have a partner. Negative x to the fourth. So putting it in standard form. I like this one. This one definitely is one of my favorites so far today. Okay. That negative we're going to distribute again. So 6 plus 7x squared minus x minus 8x plus 4x squared plus 1. Like terms, 6 and 1 make 7. X squared, that makes 11. Whoa, that was weird. Plus 11x squared. And then negative x, negative 8x makes negative 9x. Let's put it in standard form. 11x squared minus 9x, and the constant always goes last. Whoa, look at this. 3 sets of them. So we look, okay, that addition is not going to change anything. And this addition is not going to change anything inside. So we can just write them outside. 3x to the fourth plus 5x squared plus 3x to the third minus 6x squared plus 2 minus 3x to the fourth. Woo! All right, x to the fourth. X to the fourth, those actually cancel. X squared, that leaves me with negative x squared, and x cubed. Okay, I can notice instead of writing plus 3x cubed, I know that 3x cubed is going to come ahead of it, so couldn't I just do that? And then I have my constant here, and that's plus 2. So I'm going to get that, and that would be my answer. All right, I think I did that right. X to the third, yep, that's negative x squared and plus 2. All right, that was a little tricky. All right, so we have to distribute this negative, and it's going to change the signs. We're going to distribute this negative, and that's going to change the signs. So 6v plus 4v to the fourth. That first binomial does not get affected, but this one does. Negative v to the fourth plus 7v minus 7v minus 4v to the fourth. So let's look for pairs. V, 6v, 7v makes 13v. 4v to the fourth minus v to the fourth. Oh, minus 4v to the fourth leaves me with negative v to the fourth. Oh my goodness, so here's a great example. All right, I forgot this one. I didn't see that there were going to be multiple ones. So I have this and this are still like terms. So 3v, so if I just, and then I would have to do that one, 3v. So I'm going to write it in standard form. I know that's going to come first. 3v minus 7v is 6v. So that would be my answer. That was tricky. Second favorite. All right, trinomial plus a trinomial. So we're adding two groups of trinomials. 4n plus, oh, and we have double variables. Hello. M to the fourth, n to the fourth minus m to the fourth. Got to keep track of all this. Plus 4m to the fourth n squared minus 7m to the fourth plus m to the fourth n to the fourth. We're looking for like. So we have n. Is there any n's by themselves? Nope. So let's write that down. Now we're looking for a pair for this. M to the fourth, n to the fourth. M to the fourth, n to the fourth. Now we're going to combine their coefficients. 6 and 1 make 7. M to the fourth, n to the fourth. We have a negative m to the fourth, a negative 7m to the fourth, which makes negative 8m to the fourth. And then we have this term, m to the fourth, n squared. That doesn't have a partner. All right, now we got to put it in standard form. So we're looking at that first variable, n, m, m, m. So we know the m's are always going to come before n's. So this is going to be my last term. This 4n is going to go to the end. It's going to be at the end of it. I know that 100% certain because all of these have m as their first term. So I have m to the fourth, m to the fourth, m to what? Okay, so they're still tied. They're all tied. So now we got to go to the second variable. So let's look at the second variable. No variable, n. Okay, so n is always going to come before no variable. So I know that my second to last term is going to be that. Now we're working in backwards. And this is n to the fourth, n to the second. So I found my leading term, and then plus 4m to the fourth, n squared. So we have m to the fourth, m to the fourth, m to the fourth. They're all tied, and they come before n. So I got to go to my second variable, n to the fourth, n squared, good. And then no variable n. All right, that worked. Perfect. That would be the answer in standard form. Yeah, lots of funness there. Oh, okay. You are being quite challenging today, Mr. Mac. 4a to the fourth b to the fourth, negative 5a to the third b to the third, plus 5a to the fourth, minus 4a to the fourth. We have to distribute into that negative, plus 6a to the fourth b to the fourth, minus 2a to the third b to the third. A to the fourth, a to the fourth, b to the fourth. A to the fourth, b to the fourth. That's going to make 10 a to the fourth, b to the fourth. My next variable, a to the third, b to the third. A to the third, b to the third. Negative 5 and negative 2 make negative 7a to the third, b to the third. And then I have a to the fourth, which makes a to the fourth. 5 minus 4 is a to the fourth. Now I have to put them in standard form. This a to the fourth is going to come after this a to the fourth, b to the fourth, but it's going to come in front of a to the third. So they're all tied with a's. And then, so 10a to the fourth, b to the fourth, plus a to the fourth, minus 7a to the third, b to the third. Good one. All right. Part 2. This is 7.2. All of that stuff was 7.1. Addition and subtraction of polynomials. Now we have 7.2, where we are going to multiply. We start off by multiplying a monomial, a single term, times two terms. So we are going to use the distributive property. Distributive property tells me to multiply this, distribute that 3v to the third times v plus 3v to the third times 7. We take this product and we distribute it to each of the individual terms. You see the v and the 7 are in the parentheses, and you see the 3v to the third outside, showing multiplication. We still see that product happening, that timesing. We're distributing out the timesing. 3v to the third times v is 3v to the fourth. 3v to the third times 7 is plus 21v to the third. Is it in standard form? Yep. V to the fourth is going to come before v to the third. We always want to show this distribution. This is a positive 3 times negative 3. We are distributing a positive 3 to 4a, and the negative is attached to this 3. So we have to write it in this manner. That's very important for you to understand. That negative is attached to this 3. So 3 times 4a is 12a. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. We can't combine these two terms because they're unlike. They don't have the same variables. 8n times 2n plus 8n times negative 4. Make sure that there is a sign there in front of the 8n. Why is it positive? Because this is a positive. Very important to show this. If it's not there, then we're multiplying everything, which is not what we're doing. We are combining like terms. 8n times 2n is 16n squared. 8n times negative 4 is negative 32n. And it's as easy as that. 4r squared times 5r plus 4r squared times negative 4. Coefficients, 4r squared times 5r. 4 times 5 is 20. R squared times r is r to the third. Know the difference between adding and multiplying terms. 4r times negative 4 is negative 16r squared. We can't combine those. That is my answer. 3 times 2x plus 3 times negative 4. We're getting our 4 times tables down. 6x minus 12. That was nice and easy. All right, now we have a monomial times a trinomial. We are just going to do that distributive property 3 times into the binomial. 4 times 8b squared plus 4 times negative 5b. Don't forget the negative, which is attached to the 5b. And plus 4 times 8. 4 times 8b is 4 times 8b squared is 32b squared. 4 times negative 5b is negative 20b. 4 times 8 is 32. All right, this is nice. 2 times 8x squared plus 2 times negative 5x plus 2 times 4. 2 times 8x, 16x squared. 2 times negative 5x, negative 10x. 2 times 4 is 8. 6 times 7m squared plus 6 times negative 3m plus 6 times negative 5. 6 times 7m, 42m squared, 6 times negative 3m, negative 18m. And 6 times negative 5, negative 30. 8 times 5v squared plus 8 times, 4v plus 8 times 1. Don't get sloppy. If you start getting sloppy, stop, take a second, refocus, gain your confidence, and make sure you're doing the proper techniques. We don't want to make silly mistakes here. This is relatively simple distribution, so take your time and make sure that you are doing it properly. 5a times 6a squared. Now we have a variable that we're distributing out, plus 5a times 7a plus 5a times negative 4. 5a times 6a squared is 30a cubed. 5a times 7a is 35a squared. 5a times negative 4, negative 20a. Part 2 of 7.2 is multiplying binomials. A binomial times a binomial. So if we saw this b times this binomial, we would do b times b times negative 2. If we saw this negative 6 times this binomial, we'd multiply negative 6 times b and negative 6 times negative 2. So that's how we do it. It's a double distribution. We're going to do the distributive property twice. We're going to do it for the first term, which is b, and then we're going to distribute the second term, which is negative 6. So we have b times b plus b times negative 2 minus 6 times b and negative 6 times negative 2. So we distributed the b 2 times, and we distributed the negative 6 2 times. So b times b is b squared. B times negative 2 is negative 2b. Negative 6 times b is negative 6b. Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. We notice that my two terms are like terms. They both are b's to the first. So we're going to combine their coefficients. So b squared doesn't have a partner. Negative 2b and negative 6b makes negative 8b plus 12. In standard form, we are good. P times p plus p times 5 minus 4 times p minus 4 times 5. P times p is p squared. P times 5 is 5p. Negative 4 times p is negative 4p. And negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. P squared plus p minus 20. Notice we did not write a negative 1. Let's do it. Write p, not 1p. Remember, We do not write 1p, we write p. We don't write negative 1p. We write negative p. We write negative p. Okay, just a little reminder there. B times b plus b times 5 minus 7 times b minus 7 times 5. B times b, b times 5, negative 7 times b, negative 7 times 5. B times b is b squared. B times 5 is 5b. Negative 7 times b is negative 7b. Negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. B squared minus 2b minus 35. X times x plus x times 4 plus 3 times x plus 3 times 4. X times x is x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. X squared plus 7x plus 12 is our final answer. B times b, lots of b's today, plus b times negative 4 minus 3 times b minus 3 times negative 4. Keep track of those negatives. Make sure that you are multiplying and keeping track of negatives times negatives, negatives times positives, and we get b squared minus 7b plus 12. Now we have coefficients in front of our first terms. Doesn't change it. It's 2n times 3n plus 2n times 10 plus 1 times 3n plus 1 times 10. That's correct. I don't like that 10. Write that better. 2n times 3n is 6n squared. 2n times 10 is plus 20n. 1 times 3n is 3n. 1 times 10 is 10. 6n squared plus 23n plus 10. It's a good one. X times 3x plus x times negative 3 minus 7 times 3x minus 7 times negative 3. Again, x times 3x. Now let's do this. X times 3x, that's that. X times negative 3, that's that. Negative 7 times 3x. Negative 7 times negative 3. So it's there. Make sure you are systematic in your writing, you're clear, you're spaced out so you can see the products. X times 3x, 3x squared. X times negative 3, negative 3x. Negative 7 times 3x, negative 21x. Negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21. 3x squared minus 24x plus 21. You want to be accurate? Take your time, show the work, do the steps, write legible, write your work in an organized fashion. 3n times n, do lots of practice. Times 5 minus 8 times n minus 8 times 5. 3n squared plus 15n minus 8n minus 40. 3n squared plus 7n minus 40. And when you get signs that are different, positive 15n, negative 8n, stop, look at it, make sure I have more positives than negatives, so my answer better be positive 7n. 2n times 10n plus 2n times negative 9 plus 2 times 10n plus 2 times negative 9. 2n times 10n, 20n squared. 2n times negative 9, negative 18n. 2 times 10n, 20n. 2 times negative 9, negative 18. 20n squared plus 2n minus 18. Ah, my first binomial square. Binomial square. It's two terms being squared. We must remember, do not distribute the square. Do not distribute the square. B plus 6 quantity squared does not equal b squared plus 36. No, does not. We must write this out. You have two of these binomials. You have something being squared, and this is the base because of Chewbacca, so you have two of them. And then this looks like 7.2. We're on 7.3 right now, binomial squares. These are the special products of binomials. When they are identical, b plus 6 times b plus 6 gives us b times b plus b times 6 plus 6 times b plus 6 times 6. It's the same thing. It's this times this, and then it's this times this. Double distribution. B times b is b squared. B times 6 is 6b. 6 times b is 6b. 6 times 6 is 36. These are still like terms. B squared plus 12b plus 36. That's not a b, that's a 6. And that is a b. So we write the binomial out twice. It's so much easier to do this. Just write it out 2 times and then do the double distribution. N times n plus n times negative 5 minus 5 times n minus 5 times negative 5. N times n, n squared. N times negative 5, negative 5n. Negative 5 times n, negative 5n. Negative 5 times negative 5, positive 25. These are like terms. N squared minus 10n plus 25. Now we have a coefficient. 3n plus 4 times 3n plus 4. You still write it out 2 times, and then you double distribute. 3n times 3n plus 3n times 4 plus 4 times 3n plus 4 times 4. 3n times 3n, 9n squared. 3n times 4, 12n. 4 times 3n, 12n. 4 times 4, 16. 9n squared plus 24n plus 16. We're getting close. Oh, now we have 6x minus 1, 6x minus 1, 6x times 6x, 6x times negative 1, negative 1 times 6x, negative 1 times negative 1. 6x times 6x, 36x squared. 6x times negative 1, negative 6x. Negative 1 times 6x, negative 6x. Negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. 36x squared minus 12x plus 1. That's a good, I like that. That's a different one. Now we are on, now we're on conjugates. So the second special product is conjugates, when the signs, when the first and the last are identical to each other, but the signs in the middle are different. We still do double distribution. You're still using double distribution. You still are going to distribute it to both terms. V times V plus V times 5 minus 5 times V minus 5 times 5. V times V is V squared. V times 5 is 5V. Negative 5 times V is negative 5V. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. This time, your two like terms actually cancel each other. and you get v squared minus 25. So it comes down to 2 terms. So multiplying these 2 binomials produces a binomial. N times n plus n times 1 minus 1 times n minus 1 times 1. N times n squared, n times 1, n, negative 1 times n, negative n, negative 1 times 1, negative 1. These cancel, n squared minus 1. 4b times 4b plus 4b times negative 6 plus 6 times 4b plus 6 times negative 6. 4b times 4b is 16b squared. I know my b's and my 6's look very similar. I don't know how I changed that. That's negative 24b plus 24b minus 36. 16b squared minus 36. The negative 24b and positive 24b cancel. 8r times 8r plus 8r times negative 3 plus 3 times 8r plus 3 times negative 3. 8r times 8r is 64r squared minus 24r plus 24r minus 9. 64r squared minus 9. Was that it? That is it. Okay. You hopefully did this over the weekend, some point, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, or all of the above. But this should absolutely prepare you in a very productive way. You should feel 100% certain going into the assessment on Monday. Good luck.